Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Charlene KIIGE.
And I'm Solomon KIIGE, and welcome back to the KIIGE'S couch. Thank you for liking our videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. It's such a big support from you guys.
Yeah.
And we are grateful for you guys, and we love you so much.
Yes. So, and if you've not yet subscribed, this is your opportunity. In fact, we are pausing the video to give you the opportunity to please subscribe, press the notification bell so that any moment we just upload a video like this, you're the first person to be notified. You'll also help us grow our community. The more you subscribe, the more you share the video, we really appreciate.
Yeah. So why are we here today? Today we are here to share with you our wedding journey. So do you have your phone with you? Open Google Maps. Just type in the journey to Canaan or Damascus. Okay? And prepare because we are going together.
Bring some popcorn, bring some unleavened bread, some naan, things like those. So
some bitter spices. You can even add some bitter spices.
Because it was not easy. Oh my goodness, it was not easy. I remember we told you guys our proposal journey. SK proposed on the 12th of February 2020. We are very excited. This is the year that the Lord has said that we shall be Mr. and Mrs. We had decided that our traditional wedding will be on the 25th of July, and our wedding was supposed to be on the 29th of November. Did we know that Corona will be coming? We did not know.
The only Corona I know is Toyota Corona.
We did know that COVID is just around the corner. During this time, I'm working. SK is also working in terms of music. So we are like, by the time November comes, we will be somewhere with what we are planning in terms of the wedding. At this particular time, my family is not in the country. I'm the only one in the country with my brother. And so we are working with those dates because those are the dates that they were supposed to come back to the country. So fast forward, March comes. Now, December 2018, we had attended a wedding, a friend's wedding, and they were kind enough to share with us their Excel sheets on their service providers because we had seen that their wedding was quite beautiful. So for me, it was just to call the providers, change the venues, just do a little bit of tweaking, and then now start thinking of how we will raise the money and do the deposits. So the first person we went to see was the decor person. This is in March. We're on our way. We went to see him. On our way back, what do we hear in the airwaves? My fellow Kenyans, the first case of COVID-19 was being announced by the CS of Health, right? So we are like, okay, fine, COVID is here, but it's like, we will just use our handkerchiefs here and there. Africans are strong. This thing will just pass away. I remember, in fact, on our way back, we saw another car, the people driving in another car. One of them had on the face mask. And you are like, this thing is serious. So we come, COVID is here. Remember, I'm still working. Now we are in April. The cases are going higher and higher now. There is fear all around the country. We don't know what is going to happen. Lockdowns. The countries are being locked. My mom is so worried because I work in the health sector. She's like, are you guys safe? Where I used to work, unfortunately, the PPEs were not provided. So we were just like working by faith, literally. So my mom was like, no, you cannot work there. Then SK is also worried. It's like, babe, you just need to resign. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. But eventually, I resigned. I resigned from work. Remember, SK's main stream of income was music. COVID is here. Everything is closed. That means our financial doors closed in our physical eye. Okay. So we are here. We're preparing for a wedding. We don't have work. Okay, we just have the little savings that we've had for some time. At this particular time, my mom decides, because the house that we were living in, we'd stayed in that house for 10 years, but it had a foundation issue. So water was getting in the house, and the house was so cold, like it was just a disaster. So my mom decides, I'm going to demolish this house and build another house. Who is the foreman of the ground? Your dear Muhiki. So I'm here planning for a wedding. Now I'm the one supervising a 4-bedroom house to be demolished so that another house can be built. I'm just like, what is happening? The irony of this thing, I normally think back and I'm just laughing. I don't have money to prepare for my wedding, but my bank account is receiving monies because now we want to build this house for mom. I remember even there's a time the manager of the bank called me and he's like, Madam, are you sure? How do you find our parking? Are you sure you're safe? Are you sure you're safe? Because the account was reflecting good money. But is it my money? No, it's not my money. Like God has a just funny sense of humor. So here we are building and we're also planning for the wedding.
Yeah.
Time is moving. July is approaching. The countries are still locked. My family cannot jet in. What do? We push the ratio because now the wedding is November. We push the ratio to November.
Yes.
At this particular time, we are also looking for a place to stay.
Yes. Now, before we get to the place we are looking for to stay,
Yeah.
we started our marital counseling.
Oh yes, yes.
And we started it in May. And the normal course for this, the normal time this course takes is 12 weeks, which is 3 months.
Yeah.
But since now also the churches have been closed down by the government, mandatory, closed down, we had a double portion blessing because instead of doing the counseling for 3 months, we did it double. We did it for 6 months.
One-on-one session.
Wow.
One-on-one, like we never did a group
Yeah.
class. It was one-on-one with a counselor.
Yes, and it was so powerful because we learned a lot. We learned a lot even before we got into marriage. Then we had, like, obviously people say that you learn, but and then you go and practice in your marriage.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, these 2 years that we've been together, now heading to 3 years now in marriage, that counseling really helped because we've been able to handle issues in a Christian way.
Yeah.
We've been able to handle issues in a mature way. We've been able to handle conflict and finances. Everything is now in place how God wants it to be.
Yes.
So we are so blessed. I won't say we are lucky. We were blessed to have this time, and it was in twofold.
Yeah.
We did 6 months
instead of 3.
and we did it with the, oh God, babe, do you want to tell them?
We did it with the best of the best. Let me put a disclaimer. I know most people are normally warned against doing their premarital counseling in churches. Number one, because most churches do them in groups. I also don't support that. Like if you're doing PMCC, you need it to be one-on-one because there are certain issues that we can only discuss when you're the two of us plus the counselor. Number two, the other reason that people are discouraged to do counseling, premarital counseling in church is not that pastors are not wise. They have the wisdom that God has given them and we honor and we love them. But because not only is it a marriage counseling session, it's almost a therapy session where we need to go back to SK's mapping. We need to go back to Charlene's mapping and we need a counselor, we need a therapist, we need someone who's gone to school and studied counseling and psychology to take you. You need a therapist literally to do this counseling so that they can walk you through the journey of therapy. And now our blessing was our pastor was and is a certified counselor. She's gone to school. She has her degree in this particular area. So you are really blessed to not only have the spiritual aspect of it, but also the scientific knowledge of it. So that's just my disclaimer. If you're doing it in church, if it's a must you do it in church, do it for the sake of honoring the authority in church. But also, if you can afford, pay a therapist who also has the same principles, let me say, in terms of Christian therapy to take you through the session.
So another blessing that came with this counseling is as we were also doing the construction. Now, this is where the searching of the house comes in. So as we were looking for house, we were looking for a very affordable house. But now, as my wife had mentioned, all income streams were off, closed, completely off. So even the small houses that we're looking for, we were wondering how we are going to pay for them. But now God comes in a mighty way, and He blesses us with a house that needed to be, of course, needed some renovations here and there. So we took up this challenge and we increased our faith levels, because we also needed to trust God. He has blessed us with this house, but it needs money to renovate. And
it was literally a shell.
Yes. But the Lord is so faithful. He provided the money and we were able to like renovate this house. So as my wife is doing the construction on her mom's side, I'm also doing construction here.
On this other side.
And it was a perfect constructive way God had placed it, so that we can be distracted, not to think about our wedding and the things that we do not have and we are lacking, we don't have, so that we start now worrying and what we are busy.
Do you know what this reminds me of, babe? Last, I think 2 Sundays ago, we were coming from church and we had a friend in our car. He's a powerful man of God. And he said something, we were just sharing stories. And then he said something when God asked Abraham to leave his familiar home to go to a land that he will show him. He said that God will bless you on your journey. That is where He will bless you during the process. God will not bless you
when you get to your journey,
when you get to the destination. If God tells you, for example, I want you to leave Kenya and go, for example, to the USA, He won't bless you when you get to the USA. He will bless you when you're passing through this journey. And that's what happened to Abraham. So even for us, we knew that indeed 2020 was the year that God had said we were supposed to get married. Did we have the finances? We thought we did in the beginning, but God took that away so that we can literally focus on our faith currency. So during the journey, as we are honoring our parents, helping them build the house, He blessed us with a house through that, like the seed that we saw in terms of building a house for our mom. He literally blessed us with that seed of now giving us a house that also needed a little bit of construction here and there. So that's what was happening at this particular time. We started writing down the things that we need for the house. Everything from the seat to the sufuria to the vijiko to the tiles to the everything we needed for our house. We wrote everything down. So we are trusting God for this list to be fulfilled. We are trusting God for our finances for the wedding. So, and then again, as much as we are doing premarital counseling, if you've had our previous stories, we used to meet in church every Monday to pray. So we would meet and pray and just trust God.
So also, I think we were also doing training, worship classes. With our pastor. And during one of the classes, the Holy Spirit just caught up and just told him, and he just told me that my son, I will bless you with your wedding suit.
Attire,
Oh my God, I was like, wow, oh God, wow. Prior to that, my dad had already bought me my wedding shoes unknowingly and a belt that matched the shoes. All I had left to get this was way before even the wedding happened. A few months before, I think August or July. I was left with just the shirt and the tie. That was what I was left with to purchase. So as we are journeying on, now I wouldn't say we are distracted. Now we are busy in the construction and in the counseling. We had also trainings, as in it was, our weeks were packed with action. We were doing things and activities that were also strengthening our faith.
And also another blessing is, probably we'll take this time and talk to you, if this is not even attached to marriage only. Guys, if you're in any church, if you're submitted under any authority in church, please serve. There is a gift that God has given you. Some of us, maybe it's the gift of music. Some of us is the gift of administration. Some of us is the gift of how can I say it? Ushering and all these things. Everyone can serve in church. Every person has the ability to serve in church. Because I believe as we were blessing our parents and honoring them with, let me say, building a home for them. Remember this time there's COVID, churches are closed, but now the government opened the churches so that only 15 people were allowed.
Yep.
The music ministry and the pastor, so it was literally recording services. We were part of that team. We were faithful in serving, like we were faithful. We are bride and groom. We are here coming for training for the worship in church. We are here building, and I'm telling you, dealing with fundis, you need a special grace, like you need a special grace for that. We are here thinking of our wedding. We cannot see any finance coming, but we are faithful in the business of God.
Yeah.
When you are faithful in the business of God, He will definitely be faithful in your business.
Yes.
Because as we are trusting God for the wedding and also for the traditional wedding, there's no money. As we are faithful in His business, God came literally in the 11th hour. I remember there's a day we had finished praying and we were like, that day we were really lacking in faith and we were like, you know what we will do? Because we know God has called us to get married this year. As we will just wait for my family to come back. We have my family and his family meet. We have dinner. And then we wait for one of the services to end. We invite them. We are joined just after the service. We don't need even the gowns and all these things. We just wanted to be joined and start our assignment.
Yeah.
But God said, no, I will honor you guys because you're faithful with my business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come October now, when now our counseling was coming to an end, now we are finalizing on it, and it was so powerful because we finalized it with prayer and fasting.
Yes.
A lot of prayer and fasting to
Yes.
break altars that were from my family and from her family.
Yes, we'll talk about that in another video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
this time now we have moved the wedding now to December.
Yes, now
because
we
now
are
November
settled for December 20th now.
Yes.
And there's a surprise there we will tell you in a few. So as we were coming to an end on the side of counseling, also our construction was also coming to an end, and our house was now coming bit by bit ready now for occupancy. And we are now heading towards November. Now, before we get to November, a friend of ours, a great prolific writer, called us and asked us, hey, you guys, have you not planned to open a committee? And we were like, oh my God, we didn't even think about it. We were just waiting on what I say. And then you see that now that's one of the ministering angels we were talking about, because God ministered to him, and so it was important for us to have a committee. And we opened a committee and we only had 15 friends inside it. 15 only. And when we're saying God came at the 11th hour, it's literally at the 11th hour, because now we're in November. We are pushing people to help us get this money. We are pushing literally the last week of November. Now in between, it's just 2 weeks to the wedding. The last week of November, everybody, November has 30 days.
Yes.
By the 30th of November, everybody in that group had settled their pledges.
Yes.
And it was done.
Yes.
The wedding providers had been paid. Everything was already paid.
Yes.
Now it was just us to show up.
Like literally everything. When he says God blessed him with his outfit, same thing for me.
Yeah.
Like my nails, my hair, everything.
Yeah.
Everything God paid. There's nothing that I did on that day that I used money that you can see it was my money.
Yes.
God paid for everything concerning our wedding.
Yeah.
If you like, probably we can also do a story tell us in the comment section if you want us a story for the actual wedding day, because even that day it was just another story.
Yes.
Our ratio, that is our traditional wedding. Our wedding was the 18th of December. Our traditional wedding was the 16th of December. Because now the world opened up, I think, end of November. So my family came. We had his family come for the traditional wedding on the 16th. That was a Wednesday. And then on Friday, that's when we did our wedding. Our traditional wedding itself was also just, because we come from two different communities, I think that will also we can combine that traditional wedding video with the wedding day itself, so that you can see how God can honor you every step of the way. Like, people say when it comes to elections and when it comes to weddings, those are the two times in people's life where people say, mimi ni Mkikuyu kwanza, as in that's the first, those are the two points in people's life where they put their tribes before who they really are.
Yeah.
And what God did for us for our traditional wedding and our wedding, like we are seated here saying, it could only be God. It could only be God.
From the tribe of Zion, literally.
Yes.
What happened? I don't think we will share right now. Yes. It's a whole different. Now let me tell you. When we were planning for the Rorashio, I think I'll talk to you about it because wow. I don't know what to say. I don't have words because
we'll talk about
surprised us is so big till today.
Yeah, so it's important the foundations that you set.
Yes. Yes. So we thank God that the wedding was actually so successful.
Yes.
To the fact that He even added us after the wedding. Our mini honeymoon was catered for by somebody.
But like, we're like, God, who are we? Who are we again? Like, we were like, like you love us this much. We just can't. We will never tire sharing that story and encouraging people. Yeah. We keep saying you don't need $1 million, you don't need 10 million to do a wedding. If you can afford it, please do it. But if you can't, and you know that God has said that is your time.
Yes.
There's a pastor who jokes and says, the only thing that is required for a marriage, the Bible says, the marriage bed. You just need the bed. If you have the bed, the other things will sort themselves out. Because even me, when it came to my bridal shower, everything I have in my kitchen, the ladies who did my shower, even the cups, they're the ones who bought.
God bless you so much.
God bless you. Thank you for watching. Share this video to as many people as you can. Press the notification bell so that you are notified anytime we post a video. Ensure that you share. Please subscribe. I know you think you have subscribed, but just check. You have not. I know you have not subscribed. So subscribe so that you can help us grow our community. From the KIIGE'S couch. Bye guys.
Bye guys.